How would you rate Arsenal's transfer window on a scale of 1 to 10? We made 7 signings, I think it was. No, we made 8 signings, sorry, because obviously we signed Hincapié in the last minutes of the transfer window. But we played 10 games, international breaks here, so the content is low. And I'm going to be ranking each Arsenal signing on a tier list. And I mean, there's a few good ones. A few of them haven't really had as much game time as I would have thought. And some of them have literally played one game or less, maybe even 15 minutes. But let's get straight into it. Now, we have all the players here. Kepa's going to be the first one, as he's the keeper. And he's only really featured against Port Vale, kept a clean sheet, but that's expected, especially with the defence that he had in front of him. Miles Lewis-Skelly, it was Ben White, Saliba and Mosquera. But I mean, he's not looked too bad. You can't really fault him. He joined as a backup keeper. He's done his job. In pre-season, I thought he actually looked quite good. He made a few couple saves. And, like, he hasn't really put a foot wrong. You maybe need to give him a bit more time, but we're ranking it as of now. And with the game time that he's actually had this season, he's not been too bad, but we've got the best keeper in the world, so it's a bit unfortunate. So I am going to put him. So we do have the tiers S, A, B, C, D. I think we all know how it goes. I'm going to put him in B just because of that preseason. I'm sure he made a few penalty saves. I might be wrong, but I'm sure he was quite good. I think he might have actually been better than David Raya. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but in preseason, David Raya was horrible. He was stinking up the gaff. Anyways, next player, let's go for Hincapié. I mean, Hincapié, he's played about 15 minutes against Bilbao. Apart from that, he's got a groin injury. He is supposed to be back, though, once we are back for Fulham game. I think he will be back just after the international break, really. And when he's played, I mean, he's not... Can't really fault him. He got an injury. He joined last second of the transfer window. I mean, there's not much you can really do. You can't really blame him. I can't really rank him. If I was to rank him, it would probably be the worst signing so far, just because he actually hasn't. He basically literally hasn't touched the ball for Arsenal. So I will put him in D, just for the sake of, like, he hasn't played. And I mean, you can't play 15 minutes and be higher than a D. I'm sure that he's going to be up there as maybe one of the best signings if, like, a Calafiori and Miles Lewis-Skelly are injured, for example, or Gabriel. But as of now, he's only played 15 minutes against Bilbao. I doubt even if it was 15 minutes. But yeah, he has to go in D. Now, for the final defender that we made for this summer transfer window was Mosquera. And this guy right here, one of the best signings already. I mean, in terms of player for money, whatever the saying is, player for value, 10 million, I think it was, with 30 million plus add-ons. Ridiculous. He's unbelievable. When Saliba got that injury against Liverpool at Anfield just before the game, had to come off in the 4th minute, I'm pretty sure all Arsenal fans, including myself, were like, how's this guy going to cope with the pressure? But you're also forgetting this guy was a starter in the Liga, one of the best leagues in the world. Probably not the best, because Premier League is the best, and he's still doing it in the best league in the world. But he was going up against Mbappe's, Lamine Yamal's last year, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. He was going to these kind of grounds and doing a job week in, week out. So it kind of makes sense how he's doing it, and he's putting these performances into the Premier League because he's used to it. Even though he's 21 years of age, I think he's 21 or 22. He's so good. He's so composed, so good on the ball, physically strong. He loves a little duel, he does. I mean, I remember when he came on for Bilbao in the pre-season game. I watched it on live, and oh my days, when he was on, I was just watching him. I don't know why, I was so focused on him. I was so dialed in. Him and the striker were just having it at it, and I was like, this man does not care. He will go for a battle. He's just like Gabriel, but he's also like Saliba. He's like 2 in 1. And I'm sure in the future he's going to play a massive part in this squad. He already has. I mean, when Saliba picked up that injury, he filled in that spot like it was nothing. I don't think a single Arsenal fan missed Saliba. And that is so surprising, especially the past few years. I mean, last year we lost Gabriel. We replaced him with Kivior, who, don't get me wrong, great centre-back. I mean, I think he's got 5 clean sheets in 5 games. He's been unbelievable for Porto. But Mosquera, I think, is just on another level. And then the year before that, Saliba, back injury against Sporting, and Rob Holding was our backup. The year before that, Rob Holding was our starting centre back, and having Mosquera as a backup, with Hincapié as the other backup for the left-hand side. It's honestly mind-boggling how we've done this. And for that price as well, he has to be there as arguably one of the best signings of the summer in the whole Premier League. For value, for how much he cost and what he's given to the team, it's fantastic. And I mean, you can only have one player in S tier, in my opinion. So Mosquera isn't going into that category, but he's definitely up there. And I'm going to put him into the A category. He's been unbelievable this season. Now let's move on. Christian Norgard. Now I played against Port Vale, made a cameo in the Champions League. He's been okay. I mean, same again. He hasn't really had the time, the minutes so far to like prove himself. But he was a Premier League captain for Brentford. Brentford fans talked about him so highly last season and the years before that. I mean, he's a good player, very experienced. It's kind of what we need. Having such a young squad, you almost kind of forget how young they actually are and how, like, the experience they actually have. I don't think many players have that much experience, even though it's like they're one of the best teams in the world. It's just like having that Premier League experience, like Norgard's, it's so vital for this team. And kind of like Kepa, he hasn't had the time and like he hasn't had the minutes this season. But when he has, he's done the job and you can't complain. And I don't blame him. I mean, I don't blame him not being able to have the opportunity to shine, because the midfielders that are in front of him, it's ridiculous. Declan Rice, Zubamendi, Mikel Merino, and then sometimes we play at two attacking midfielders, which is Ødegaard, Waneri, Eze. Like, it's ridiculous the squad depth that we have. But so far in his performances, I've been impressed. He has actually scored a goal for Arsenal, which is you wouldn't expect. I'm going to put him in B category. Now, with this, I feel kind of harsh. I'm going to put Calafiori, Hincapié in the C category. It's just a bit harsh putting him in D, especially with, like, Kepa and Norgard being in B category. But, like, I'm not going to be too harsh on these players because some of them haven't actually had the time to prove to us. But when they have, they've done the job and you can't really complain. Now, these 4 signings right here are, like, the most exciting signings, in my opinion. Zubamendi, Eberechi Eze, Victor Gyökeres, and Noni Madueke. Now, each their own, brilliant players. They've been brilliant this season. In certain times of this season, I would say Zubamendi's been the best, but we'll get onto him. Let's start off with Noni Madueke. Picked up an injury against Manchester City. Prior to that, he was unbelievable. I thought Liverpool, he was one of our best players on the pitch. So good going forward. He's literally a Bukayo Saka 2.0. What a backup we have to Saka. And I mean, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. Saka can play on the right, can play on the left as well. They can interchange. The squad depth that we have this season is honestly unbelievable. But it's such a shame that he got an injury as soon as Saka's back. The game that Saka's back, he gets injured. And now Saka's got no backup apart from an 18-year-old Waneri whose best position's in the 10. Or you have a 15-year-old Max Dowman. But he will be back for the November games. I'm sure he is back for the Tottenham, Bayern Munich, Chelsea run that we have. But this season, he's been so good. I mean, I've been so impressed with him. That Nottingham Forest performance was unbelievable. And that performance right there, everyone just stopped criticising him and just started realising he's actually a good player. Now, when he actually initially signed for Arsenal, I was like, 52 million. Why are we spending 52 million on a backup for Saka when we need a left winger? But this was before we signed Eze, so rightfully so, all Arsenal fans were annoyed. But that signing right there is so key. Saka got injured in the second game of the season. Imagine where we would be right now if we had no right winger. We had to play Waneri on the right, for example. For Liverpool, Forest, Man City, and I think it was Bilbao as well. I don't think we would do as well. I thought Madueke was one of our best players in those 4 matches. He was so good. So good. And you could tell that it was going to be a player, even in that Leeds match. When Saka came off injured, Madueke had like a 10-minute cameo on the right-hand side. And he looks so much better off the right than left. He can do a job on the left, but his preferred position is the right. And you can tell by his performances. So I'm going to put him into the A category. I think I think he's been fantastic. He's been one of our best signings as well. Unbelievable, absolutely fantastic. Moving on, I'm gonna go for Eberici Eze. Now we signed him. I think it was the Leeds game that he got announced. The reaction when he got announced, his reaction as well. Oh my days! I kid you not, that was probably the best transfer signing I've ever experienced. I mean, the reaction, he looked so happy, and the atmosphere and everything is so good to see. An Arsenal fan getting rejected when he was younger, and now he's here. He's playing Champions League football for his boyhood club, and he's putting in the performances. One criticism that I'll give him is that his finishing needs to improve a bit. Now you might be thinking, "Oh, I'm just saying that because of that West Ham finish." I feel like he could have scored a few more. I think there was one against Newcastle. It was a great save from Nick Pope, but like I want him to be finishing them any day of the week. I want him to be scoring. Yes, he's getting assists, and that assist against Man City for Martinelli. Oh my days, what an assist. That was arguably one of the best assists you'll see this season. Just in terms of the moment, it was the 93rd minute. There was 5 added minutes of extra time. We had 2 minutes left. He had the ball on the halfway line, and he had the balls to dink it over their back line, their whole entire team, to Martinelli. Pinpoint pass. And Martinelli, brilliant finish. I mean, we're not talking about Martinelli here, but Eze, unbelievable. And you saw how good he was when he came on against Man City. The switch when we brought on Saka and Eze for who was it, Madueke and Marino. Unbelievable change. We were absolutely dominating that game. Yes, they were sitting back. They were parking the bus. But anyways, Eze, I mean, he's been good. He's got his goal against Port Vale. I just want to see him score a bit more. But he can't go in the B category, so I am going to put him in the A category. He's been one of our best signings. I mean, he's just so influential, and like when going forward, he's just so good. He just glides with the ball, and you've seen Arsenal players talking about him in training. I mean, Saliba said his technique's unbelievable in the interview, and I mean, when he's on the ball, he just looks so good. And his home debut against Nottingham Forest, just like Madueke, him on that left-hand side, he was so good. He absolutely done Nico Williams in that one little play that he did. He was just brilliant. And I mean, he's just been so good. He's not been the best signing. I feel like one of these two right here is the best. And I think everyone knows who is going to go in that S tier. But moving on, we're going to talk about Martin Zubamendi. Now, we did get him. He was our first signing of the summer. We had the likes of Liverpool and Real Madrid interested in him. And people in the Spanish media were saying, oh, Real Madrid are going to come in, get him, all this, da-da-da. Just like they were saying Remontada, and they absolutely got dominated in their backyard, 2-1, 5-1 on aggregate. But anyways, then you had Liverpool, who wanted him the year before that. He wanted to stay at Real Sociedad for one more year. Next thing you know, he joins Arsenal. And I mean, what a signing he's been. He had kind of a slow start, but you have to bear in mind, new league, and the teams that he's facing is ridiculous. His first Premier League game was Old Trafford away. His second away game, Liverpool away. Third away game, Newcastle away. And I think he's actually performed not too bad. But those home games, Nottingham Forest, I think it was, where he volleyed it, and then he got the second goal with the header. I mean, in my opinion, he's been one of the best signings in the entire Premier League, and he's gone under the radar because he's a midfielder, and we signed him so early on, like everyone's forgotten that he's a new signing. We brought him in early July, and he's just been unbelievable. I mean, his passing, his composure, like everything about his game, I just love. He's one of my favourite players already. He's becoming a fan favourite at Arsenal. And for me, he has to go in S tier. He's been our best signing by far. Like, I don't think any of these signings come close, especially when it comes to consistency. Eze, Madueke, Mosquera, yes, they've been very good. Mosquera hasn't played every single game this season, but when he has, he's been very good, so you can't fault him. Madueke, I feel like against Leeds, he wasn't the best. It was a bit quiet. Man City, he was okay, but if you compare it to his best performances, you could also say he kind of fell off a bit. I thought against Bilbao, he wasn't the best either. Then with Eze against Bilbao, I thought he was poor, very quiet. And then it's just been in and out of consistency. But Zubamendi has been the only player in this list who's been performing every single game. Bear in mind, this guy's played 90 minutes week in, week out. He was supposed to get a rest against West Ham, but Odegaard got injured, and then he ended up playing another 70 minutes. But he was unbelievable once again, and you saw that pass that he made into Eze through the lines. Eze's shot got saved, and then it fell straight into Declan Rice's feet, and he just scores to make it 1-0. Like, these little things, I've seen Alan Shearer talk about it on like a technology thing. He had a new technology, and you could see it from Zubimendi's POV on the pitch. He had like zero point 0.5 seconds to react when he received the ball, and he just knows exactly what he's going to be doing before he even touches the ball. And he just passes it through, and we're through on goal. And the quickness of the Premier League is unbelievable, and he's already adapted. And all credit has to go to him. He's been unbelievable, and he's gone under the radar massively. Now, Victor Gyökeres, this one can go up for debate. Has he been good? Has he been bad? I think he's been one of our most inconsistent players throughout the entire season. I thought against Leeds United, brilliant, got the 2 goals. Nottingham Forest, he got his goal. Though against Newcastle, he was brilliant, holding up play. I mean, he won like every single duel against Olympiacos as well. In that first half, he was brilliant. But towards the end, I thought our whole team kind of collapsed against Olympiacos, including himself. But then you could also go to Old Trafford, where he was absolutely abysmal. He did nothing, but you can't blame him because he barely had a pre-season. And we just chucked him straight in there because Kai Havertz obviously got injured. And it's taken him a while to get used to the levels and the intensity of the Premier League, and I feel like now he's finally up there, up to the standard. It's just whether he can get the goals now. I feel like his hold up play, his like build up play with other players and everything, it's becoming a lot better, and I'm happy to see that it's becoming a lot better. It's just whether he can get them goals, and once he starts scoring, I'm sure he's going to go on a big scoring spree. I feel like he will come good, but I don't think, as of yet, he's not been the greatest. He is going to go A tier, but I'm going to go low-end A tier. 3 goals in 10 games. I mean, it was such a promising start. He had 2 goals in 2 games, then he had 3 goals in 4 games, and then he's gone on like a 5-game where he scored no goals. It's been a bit poor, and as a fan myself, watching him week in, week out, I find it so frustrating that he's not scoring. Now, Port Vale. I know it's Port Vale, but I was watching him carefully for the 10-minute cameo, and the runs that he was making. I mean, there was one time Max Dowman put him through on goal, and I feel like that's when you get the opportunity to go through on goal with making them runs, you have to be clinical and finish them, which he didn't. But apart from that, he's been making them runs so much throughout the entire season, trying to get him through on goal. I mean, against Olympiacos he did, and once again he wasn't clinical enough, and that's what I mean. Like, sometimes when he is getting found through on goal, he's not been clinical enough. But then other times when he is trying to run through on goal, we're not providing him with the passes. The only time we were was when Odegaard was on the pitch, and now he's injured again, and he won't be back for maybe 3 to 6 weeks with his MCL injury, which is so frustrating. And I have to feel bad for Gyökeres, but at the same time, top strikers find a way to score, and I'm sure he will come good one day. I just hope it's sooner rather than later, because we're trying to win the Premier League or the Champions League, and we need everyone on their best form. And Gyökeres is a huge part, as everyone in recent years were crying out for a striker. We got the striker, and he isn't performing as well as I expected. But that is my tier list. Let me know your rankings of Arsenal's transfer window so far this season. I would say this is kind of fair. I mean, the D category, I don't know why that was there, to be honest. I think Hincapié in C, I think that's fair. But I think it's unfair to him because he's been injured and he's barely had any game time. I mean, Kepa and Norgard in B category, they've been solid. They've done their job when needed, and you can't complain. Then A category, that's when the players are in. They're playing almost week in, week out. I mean, with Gyökeres, he is playing week in, week out. But Mosquera, he's been unbelievable. Madueke, unbelievable. Eze, fantastic. Gyökeres, bit underwhelming, but that's because my expectations are so much higher for him. But I'm not worried whatsoever. I feel like Gyökeres will come good. It's a matter of time. And then Zubimendi in S tier, I feel like he's been our best signing. I feel like every Arsenal fan can agree. It's just the main factor why he's better than the rest is because of the consistency. He's been there since the beginning of the season to the end. He's played both the Champions League games. He's played every single Premier League game. And I don't think he featured against Port Vale, but it's Port Vale. I mean, he's going to play a big part, and all 8 of these signings are going to play crucial parts this season, and some of them have already made crucial parts. I mean, Madueke especially when Saka got injured. Not Norgard, Mosquera when he came on for Saliba, crucially needed. But I'm sure they'll all come good. But this is my ranking. Let me know yours down below. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Sorry, I've got 220. I think it is. I was recording. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Let me know in the comments below your Arsenal tier list ranking for the transfer window. I'm just yapping right now. But yeah, thank you for watching, boys.